Hello everybody and welcome to another RCT2 reviews stream. I know it's been a little while since we've done one of these. I've been out and about on a little miniature coaster trip, checking out some new stuff in the Midwest. So I am back in town now and ready to jump back into these. Don't have a lot of time tonight, so we're going to start with this smaller design, but I've got some projects here on the way that I'll be reviewing here soon. So you should see a fair bit of content coming here in the next couple of days and weeks. But today we have Rob's Rusty Railyard by RobDedede. This is a Bronze Award winner on New Element and was an original entry for one of Derklink's monthly contests, I believe. I think this was for the RMC one, but I'm not positive on that. But let's take a look. We've got a pretty nice little park here. It probably could have gone in as a design for New Element, but he submitted it competitively, so we got the Bronze Award rather than the design, but I think it would have won either way. It's a pretty nice looking park. So we've got our kind of theme here of the rail yard and sort of rusty industrial, kind of junk almost, but done in a pretty nice way. So here's our entrance, which has these sort of stacked almost container blocks here with Rob himself up welcoming the folks in. First thing we come across is Sequoia here, this little tree-themed Eurofighter. Or I guess it could be a tower speed coaster like Impulse at Knoebels. Starting out with that vertical drop in the Cobra roll, a loop into this kind of over bank here and through this roll, and then into the brakes. So pretty short layout, but pretty nice. And I do like this little track texture for the station. So this is no custom scenery, I think, park, though it does use the expansions. But it's done pretty well here with some good detail work throughout. So keep it on going here. We have some nice little details. This little ticket booth here using the inverted cars. And then up next we have this custom condor ride themed to a crane. This is a Crane Mania. Really nice looking ride. And it's so it's got the shoestring here going on. Does take peeps, and you can see the queue line down here. And then there's this nice little crane on the side, and then also these couple of little containers on either side here. A couple nice little buildings here. Pretty simple, but not too bad. But then we cross over top and of the path, I suppose, and go over to our rapids ride here, which is a pretty short, simple rapids ride. So here we have our nice little water recirculation pump and pipe, kind of fits the theme there. I like the station here with the car ride, sort of the dry station going on, and then we have our lift and drop in here. Kind of reminds me of Hafima's rapids boats, rapids rides, because they have that sort of dry station entry and exit. Pretty simple rapids, just a little oval here, so could have done a little bit more maybe, but for what's here, I think it's pretty nice. Have this water tower, a little bit odd in that it kind of almost looks like it's floating here, the upper layer, but not too bad overall, and just nice theming throughout. You got these clever sawmill logs coming through here to the sawmill using the log flume boats, so pretty cool little detail there. And then the waterfall with the water wheel here, somewhat cliche, I suppose, to have the Ferris wheel with the water wheel, but can't fault it. It's a good use right there. So if we continue instead underneath of this bridge and head on back here, we get to sort of the meat of the park itself. Going by some theming, all these train vehicles here with the cranes and the all the containers. A little bit out of scale here because we have the little tiny mine train vehicles and then these gigantic 2x1 container pieces, but it's nice. I like the setup. I like all the rails coming through here, and I think it's a nice look throughout. Same with over here. I kind of like this area better because it's a little more almost messy a little bit, just the way that it's kind of set up, and how it expands out to this a plaza space. A little bit odd maybe that it's just a 1-by path all the way here. We have a lot of 2-bys elsewhere. Almost would look good to have this as a 2-by. And just from a park layout standpoint, to be able to work a path kind of through the middle of this this coaster would have been kind of a neat idea. Almost even a flyover across this whole, because you almost have 4 low spots here on either side of this ride. So would have been pretty neat to see that. But I think you can always look with some hindsight there. But let's take a look at this RMC. So this is Rust Rusher. This is the headliner of the park. This is the RMC coaster. That's the vehicle here. Pretty nice looking little layout with some nice custom supports in there. So we're starting out with this great vertical drop into kind of a CCI style up and down turnaround. This double up into a roll right here, then a dive corner through this outward banked, and then back around. Another one of these kind of weird wonky bankings, and then we're gonna take it home with a couple of weird banks to either side. 1, 2, 3, kind of very RMC-esque coming in there, pretty hot. No transfer track would be kind of cool to see some of those details. Same with over here also, because we have a lot of the other details covered, but still missing that in particular, I suppose. But looking nice. I like the color variation here. With some of these supports, makes it look a little bit worn. And then also this is nice with the little ducks here using that ride piece. Couple little maybe odd bits here. The station or the track with the fixed coaster train here is sort of a circling server trope that I think you see everywhere. And I'm not a huge fan of it. It's a little bit much. You really don't see any coasters do that. You might see some Alpine coasters maybe, but it's a little bit much, I would say. I think you can do a much smaller sign that's a little bit more in scale to what a park might do, but it's still a good little touch. I do like this, the Rust Rusher kind of crossing signs. That's kind of nice. And the architecture is not too bad. It's understated, but nice. This big crawler thing is pretty cool, although I really don't like this smoke object. I just don't think the textures work as far as the overall goes, but this doesn't seem to fit with the rest. But really, the structure and everything is kind of neat, and just the way that all these trains are kind of wrapped around almost does give me the opinion, if as I zoom out here real quick, that this ride was built and then it was sort of the park layout was figured out around it, which is not a bad way to do it. But I think before the rest of it went in, there could have been maybe a little bit more thought to how the park setup and layout goes, but not too bad overall. Some sections of the park don't quite know what they want to be, so you have the castle door here and the sort of castle themed pieces, and then you're in this Rust Belt industrial zone, and then you have the Roman fountain here also. So a little bit oddball things, and then this kind of structure here, which really, as far as I can tell, is just a structure for the sign here, which I don't dislike that, and I think it could be sort of an abandoned structure that could be reused, although I would say that maybe there ought to be some more in here. The challenge is there's just so many textures. I mean, you look at this and there's rock, steel, brown, wood, darker brown wood, here's metal, here's the pirate roof, here's a metal roof, here's a wood roof, and it becomes too much. I understand the idea of trying to vary the different textures and making them interesting like that, just to show kind of almost patchwork amalgamation of things. But at some point you kind of cross that and become just too busy overall, and it just doesn't look like a structure. So you have to think of this in terms of, like, there's no way that somebody's going to build this structure out of, let's call it the rock, and then somehow go in there and then replace 3/4 of the structure with wood, and then come in there and replace another section of it with metal poles and things like that. So if you think about it in terms of like how it would actually be built, I think it ends up where it could look a little bit better collectively. And then landscaping too, I think, has the potential to improve a little bit. Giant flower bed here is a little bit much. I think you generally don't want to go more than 1 tile wide with flowers, and then you sort of stack it up. So you do flowers first, and then you do some bushes. Maybe it's a 1/4 tile with the or half tile with flowers, and then a 1/4 tile with bushes, and then you can build up into some more shrub type things and all that. Tree selection is nice on the whole, but maybe just kind of clustering and clumping these bushes here will also help a little bit overall. But not bad, I think. As far as I'm concerned, the bronze is a pretty good fit. Two pretty decent little coaster layouts, and nice custom scenery theming, and a lot of little details that are just fun to see, which I do appreciate. So definitely check this out. I'll put a link in the description so you can get your own copy and explore on your own pace. But check this one out. And I will be back with more. We'll be back to our tutorial series here this week. Then coming up on the Saturday, we will also have Angelic Amusement Academy number 6, I think. Theme for this weekend is still undecided, so if you have a burning desire to see some genre of coaster or something, send me a message and we'll take a look. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and hope you enjoyed this review. See you later.